Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Finance and reads, what reports has he received on the recent performance of New Zealand's export sector?
The Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, Stats New Zealand data shows that month on month the value of New Zealand's exports has increased by about 15% in the past year. This is largely due to record high commodity prices, which have risen about 16% over the last year. The challenge now is to increase the volume of our exports to take advantage of these high prices. That's why the government's focused on policies that shift resource from the non-tradable, less productive sector into the high productivity tradable sector.
Craig Foss.
Supplementary to the Minister. How have New Zealand's domestic and internationally competitive sectors performed respectively over the past decade?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, there's different ways of measuring this, but between 2003 and 2009, the non-tradable sector, that's like housing and retail, the domestic part of the economy, grew about 20% over that period, mainly fuelled by borrowing. In the same period, the export sector shrank by 6.3% because of poor government policy settings, rising interest rates and a fairly high dollar. So that means that our internationally competitive industries went into recession from about 2005.
Craig Foss.
To the Minister. How has the respective performance of the tradables and non-tradable sectors been reflected in jobs?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, from 2003-2009, non-tradable jobs grew by $270,000. So we did have strong job growth in the 270,000 people. We had strong job growth in the domestic part of the economy, but that was fuelled by unsustainable borrowing and unsustainable government spending. By contrast, the export sector lost 55,000 jobs over the same period. So this government has the task of crafting an economy that produces new jobs and job growth from the export sector, because the domestic part of the economy isn't growing that fast.
Craig Foss.
Supplementary to the Minister. What signs of progress has he seen in new jobs in the tradable sector since 2009?
The Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, fortunately, the job growth is starting to look more balanced and positive. So in contrast to the period up to 2009, export sector jobs are now actually growing. In fact, they've increased by 25,000 in the last year and a quarter, or about 6%. 17,000 of those new jobs are in the manufacturing sector. And manufacturing sector has been doing reasonably well because of Australia is in good shape and it's our biggest market for manufacturing products. Job growth in the non-tradable economy is pretty flat and will probably remain so because the housing market's flat, government's not growing near as fast as it was, and people are being careful with their retail spending.